Next, I'd like to welcome our speaker, Becky Haas, is a constant advocate for promoting the town that she loves, which is, of course, Richmond. She's been a resident of Richmond for over 50 years, a business owner in the historic downtown district. Becky's a proud, direct descendant of one of Stephen F. Austin's first settlers in Texas, who are known as the Old 300. She's a chaplain for and a charter board member of the Descendants of Austin's Old 300 organization. She's passionate about Texas history, with a keen interest in Richmond history in particular. She's a member of the Fort Bend County Historical Commission, a former member of the Richmond Historical Commission, a member of the Fort Bend County Museum, a board member of the Black Cowboy Museum, a member of the Historic Richmond Association, and is a Fort Bend docent. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Becky Haas. There she is. Sneak it up on me.
Good gosh, all these tall people. Man, looking around here, seeing all these people, it makes me want to just smile. And I have been told that how am I going to top last year? Well, we might just do it. You just never know. I'm Becky Haas, Mayor of Richmond. I want to thank the Central Chamber for hosting this event. I know how hard it is to work and get everything done. And once again, you have done an amazing job. I also want to thank Kevin Patton for his continued support. And I'd like to recognize our city commissioners, Commissioner Terry Gall, Commissioner Barry Beard, Commissioner Carl Rose, and Commissioner Alex Bement, who is not here. He's an attorney, he has a trial, and I think the judge is over me, okay. And our administrative staff, we have City Manager Terry Vella, City Attorney Gary Smith, and Assistant City Manager Howard Christian. Here we go. Welcome, everyone. I look out here and I see community partners, I see business associates, I see friends, and also see our hardworking staff. Time sure does fly. It's been 19 months since I took office. And I thought I knew everything about Richmond because I do love Richmond history. But I was wrong. There's so much more to learn. And I continue to learn more and more every day about as this city grows and as we move forward. Richmond's history began in 1837. That's the same year that Texas was annexed into the United States. That's kind of hard for me to put in my mind, but that's tombstone time, you know. Over the years, Richmond's livelihood has depended on small businesses, crops, livestock, oil, and it's still shaping our economy. As mayor, I enjoy meeting with residents and visiting business owners. I attend every event possible, and I enjoy every minute of it. You might say that we're rich in Richmond, and our city is governed with a core value, and the word pride spells it out. P, professional. R, results. I, integrity. D, dedication. And E, empathy. They wanted me to be a cheerleader to do that, so that's as far as I go with that. We work with pride, Richmond pride. And speaking of pride, this year's fiscal budget was adopted by the City Commission last October. With a budget of $41.5 million this fiscal year, Richmond extends exceptional city services to its residents. The city's tax rate has consistently decreased over the past 11 years, while ensuring the budgets will steadily support the city services we offer. A big congratulatory acknowledgement goes out to Terry Vella and her team. Brilliant work. Where's Terry? Hi. Our tax-exempt properties owned by the county equate to about 40%, nonprofits about 60%. The remaining properties taxable for us is 51% residential and 49% commercial. As you can see, Richmond has a unique taxing situation that most cities don't have to deal with. City commissioners have pledged to careful planning and to diversify the revenue stream. With diligent work by our city's superb mathematical minds in the finance department, Richmond continues to make this constant yearly challenge work. This is what I'm excited about. Along with the over 65 homestead exemption of $6,000, for the first time in 185 years, Richmond has homestead exemptions. Homeowners may qualify for a 1.5% with a minimum of $5,000 homestead exemption. I want to personally thank the staff and the City Commission and administrative staff for supporting this and for giving back to our residents. It's a modest amount we started with, but every little bit counts in this economy. Our development. I find it amazing how fast the developers work these days. However, in 1837, the real estate developers moved much quicker. In my research, I found that the city of Richmond was actually incorporated before the town was laid out. I think they were a little anxious. Johnson Development has been working swiftly to develop a property that was once known as the Fort Bend Country Club. New houses are already being built. Most are near completion, and they're already leasing the apartment complex. Mandola Farms, located on 98 East, and continues to work on develop their 85 plus acres. And the new and to-be new residents wasted no time purchasing their lots, building their houses, moving in, and they are now enjoying the amenities that are offered to them. New businesses looking to expand are showing interest in the property at Mandola Farms entrance on 98 East. Wall Street Village. It's located on FM 2218 in the vicinity of Walmart, is our newest subdivision. The plat shows a 45-acre tract offering 151 new residential lots with spaces for opportunities with the commercial end of it. I like the word commercial. And all three of these subdivisions have been annexed into the city limits of Richmond. We're growing. We are excited to see the type of development that will be in store for the 300 acres known as the Proler property, which is already in our city limits. It's a prime location with endless potentials. We also have plans for a workforce apartment complex will be located on Collins Street, just north of Clay. And all these projects will offer different housing opportunities and business opportunities and the ability to keep up with the growth, the population growth, and it will also benefit our tax base. We continue to promote Richmond by supporting our existing businesses, recruiting new businesses, and are working to strengthen our tourism efforts. Richmond now offers second-story office space downtown, retail spaces across the city, a planned FM 762 business park development, and commercial properties along Richmond Parkway and 98 East. To our restaurants, existing and new, thanks for cooking up the good food that keeps people eating in Richmond. The question I am asked all the time still is what is going to happen with the old fire station? It's kind of like the Wayside Horns, I guess. This building endured 58 years of housing our fire department, and part of that time the police department was also in there. There was some much needed improvements and repairs, and they've been completed, and there's several known restaurants that are showing interest to move into Richmond. But with the economy moving the way it is, businesses are having to evaluate and use extreme caution with any financial decisions that they make. In the meantime, it's home to our farmers market. That was really nice on you to come. Plans for the city-owned Myrtle Street property located on the west end of Morton Street are to occupy half of the building with several city departments to ease the overcrowding in our city hall. And for the other half, to offer incubator office spaces. During COVID, many employees work from home and this trend is continuing. Incubator office spaces are rented to remote employees and offers the basic amenities that you find in any other office. Plus, it has the use of a conference room. Richmond is one of the few cities that will be offering this type of work concept in our area. Richmond has a very good planning department. The city's Unified Development Code is the go-to document for this. Our UDC must be strong as it guides everything from permissible land uses to building densities to setbacks, street widths, park requirements, everything. The planning department, the city administrative staff, and the staff are very hard working to keep this document current. It is my opinion that variances should only be granted in extreme circumstances to keep our UDC strong. This is us. We are 180 team members strong with 14 departments. We are always looking to recruit members to be part of the team. This year we had several hires, several long-timers retired, and we're just looking for people that want to work. But most importantly, we had a lot of promotions this year, and they're all promotions from within, and that's a good thing. And let us remember Commissioner A.D. Eversole, who passed away on March 14th of this year. Commissioner Eversole was a barber at the Richmond Barbershop for over 60 years, and for 49 of those years, he was the owner. He was appointed in April of 2019, and he filled a vacant spot that was left empty the month before. Commissioner Eversole, during his first and only commission meeting, made a motion to certify the May 14th, 2019 election results. That was very cool, too. AD will surely be missed. Our police department. Commitment to public safety and trust is our priority. In monthly police reports, we hear from Chief J.J. Craig about the regular training officers receive to enhance their skills, incident responses, and management. While the entire nation is struggling with adequate staffing levels, our police department is striving tirelessly to recruit applicants that are qualified and dedicated to community service, but also a good fit for us. I enjoy reading the officers' beat reports. I learn about their time visiting with our residents as they go about their daily lives. One officer was chasing pigs, okay? You gotta have a little humor in it. Our fire department. Monthly reports from Chief Mike Youngblood include responses to a lot of incidents in its service areas, which include the city and the ETJ. We continue to maintain partners, and we develop new resources and support for our operations. Maintaining apparatus, equipment, and staff is a constant challenge that we are meeting by replacing old equipment this year, and we're continuing our efforts in recruiting new team members. Our fire marshal's office. Fire Marshal Christopher Leggington, through regular inspection and plan reviews, works to establish partnerships with the public, maintains the safety life codes, and ensures new development in the compliance with all of the codes and permit requirements. Our city development services. A new water line transmission line is part of the city's utility master plan. It's going to provide water more efficiently to new proposed annexed areas. Allow for strategic growth and redundancy throughout. Another important public works project getting kicked off is the Clay Street and North 2nd Street project, and it's going to improve mobility. It's going to include sidewalks and connectivity, and the improvements are in concert with the College Road work that was already completed. New to Richmond. City of Richmond currently launched a new emergency notification system to keep residents, businesses, anyone interested better informed. To receive these notices, you can get them by text, email, pager, voice message, and all that's needed is for you to sign up. Let's do some trash talk. Where's our trash people? There they are. Welcome, GFL Environmental. Since August, the new bright green waste collection trucks can't be missed. And GFL Environmental is our city's new solid waste and recycling provider. And they were excited to bring world-class solid waste and recycling collection services to our city. Good job. I'm very pleased to have Mike Shearer. Where's Mike? He's our representative, our Richmond representative to the Fort Bend County Subsidence District. Thank you, Mike. Please keep them in line, okay? Being a volunteer can be tough and time-consuming. One of the things I pushed for when I took office was to have a more transparent way of selecting the volunteers. I want to thank our city commissioner, our city administration for the work they did to establish the new way volunteers are selected, and for recognizing the importance, as I did, for full transparency with this policy. And staff, I certainly appreciate the work that you contributed to make this a success. Glory, hallelujah. On April the 22nd, 2020, a bit of history was made when the wayside horns became active. These stationary horns installed at the railroad crossings through downtown and other places in Richmond, they make the sound go down the streets, up and down, okay? So in other words, there is no reason, there's our railroad people, there's no reason for a conductor to pull the air horn boat down using a death grip anymore as he passes through Richmond. Some were brutal, but I'm just kidding, okay? I can still hear the train horn, and I'm able to carry on a conversation now. That's very pleasant. Our Parks Board, they make advisory recommendations to the city administration about additional parks that are needed. And following some of the recommendations that they had, city administration has been working with Lamar CISD about acquiring a much-needed new neighborhood park on the north side of town. Once again, Richmond's taking top honors. Richmond has been recognized as one of the top cities for retirees. Richmond ranked number 1 with the Houston suburbs in the Movito, I can't say that, real estate ranking, and number 5 in Texas with the Smart Assets ranking. I had to be careful with that one, Smart Assets. I didn't practice saying it because it would just flow out. Jerry W. Jones Jr., economic developer. He's our economic developer director for the city. He was named the recipient of the 2021 Economic Development Award 40 Under 40, which recognizes rising stars under the age of 40 that are in the economic development industry. Did somebody say parade? Everybody remembers the 2021 parade that was canceled 2 weeks before it was to take place. The moment I heard that news, I called Terry Vella and I said, Terry, you think that Richmond should we step up and do that? Her answer was absolutely. After I made a call to Mayor Raines and Rosenberg, he was on board too, and the rest is history. During the parade, we stood, Mayor Raines and I stood in the back of the truck, and Terry drove it, and we saw so many smiles and waves. We heard cheering, and so many thank yous were shouted out. It was nice. And for the first time ever, all of the Fort Bend County mayors, with the exception of one who sent his wife to represent him, We're on a 40-foot flatbed truck borrowed from Gary Pokila, and it had banners on the side of it that said, "We're United." The mayor's had so much fun that they're ready to do it again this year. Richmond Oilers youth football and cheer organizations, they had their championship parade. That was a fun one to go to. Well-deserved honor for each participant. I presented them with a proclamation proclaiming the city's pride and how they continue to represent Richmond in competition. And also they won the Super Bowl here. Richmond is a fun place with lots going on. Richmond's Farmers Market takes place the first Friday of each month, and vendors sell goods such as fruits and vegetables, handmade crafts, farm-raised beef, plants, and much more. And my husband said I have to chill out with the spending there. But I will. Movies in Westendorf Park, another family fun event. Jurassic Park and Ghostbusters, just a couple of movies that were shown. People bring their lawn chairs and their blankets, and they all lay out and they enjoy it. Richmond Rotary, thanks for providing the free popcorn for them. Coffee with the Cop, National Night Out, and Keep Richmond's Beautiful Shred Day are all part of keeping Richmond connected. They shredded over 16,000 tons this last April. That's a lot. Our City Hall Christmas tree lighting and community Christmas walk kicked off our 2021 holiday season. We had the Community One Table hosted by the City's Development Corporation and the Central Chamber, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of food. It was great. The Richmond Historical Association's Art Walk and Motor Madness, Motown on Morton Street, Miracle on Morton Street, along with the Richmond Pecan Harvest Festival, are just a few events that kept all of us dancing in the streets. I dressed up for them. As mayor, I do get to do some fun things. I was invited by the entire third grade class to Jane Long Elementary for a question and answer session that they named Muffins with the Mayor. I didn't know if they thought I had a muffin waist, but it worked, okay. Their questions were well thought out, and I hope this ends up being a yearly event. The muffins were really good. Another that I got to participate in was I was the reviewing official for the LCISD Junior ROTC's Pass in Review celebration that was held on Veterans Day. Lamar High School and Terry High School ROTC units, consisting of around 200 participants, and I had 2 lines to execute. Present the command and march the command in review, which I delivered flawlessly. Each of the squadrons passed in front of me, and when they did, each cadet would turn their head and they would look at me. And then they would salute. This is cool. I can't put into words the patriotic feeling that came over me at that. Thinking that this is kind of cool. So I began to wave like I did in the parade. Okay. Then by the 5th squadron, I had even added closing my eyes and nodding my head in approval. So I don't know what they thought of me, but whatever. I feel very honored to have been asked, and I hope to participate in that again next year. Now it's time for me to thank our city commissioners for their continued support. We don't always agree, do we, guys? But you know what? That's what it's all about. We listen, we discuss, but at the end of the day, we support each other. I appreciate you taking time to research every item on the agenda, and you're ready to do battle if necessary, and I've seen it, and it's not pretty. I extend a very sincere thank you to you. And to our city administration, man, I love you guys. Now, in conclusion, I'm so thankful to the brave, fearless settlers who had a vision when they happened upon this beautiful, bare piece of land. In 1837, a small group of original Richmond residents worked hard to establish a town that would prosper over the years. We owe it to them to ensure the magnificent history of Richmond is preserved, which unfortunately has proven to be a challenge. I believe that with the leadership in place today, Richmond is capable of achieving the successful vision that we have planned for Richmond's future. So with that being said, happy birthday, 185th anniversary, Richmond, yay! And to you, my friends, thank you so much for coming. I enjoy seeing all of y'all all the time. It's a pleasure, and I certainly do. I look forward to seeing you next year. And I had some really funny stuff in there, and some people made me take it out, so I said, no, you cannot say that. You cannot say that. And I said, what? You cannot say that. So, yeah, next year, just wait. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being proud with me of Richmond.